Evening. Oof. Evening, everyone. Welcome back. Another week, another race. Can't remember if we have power-ups in this race or not. I think we do, don't we? Probably need to put my little gadget on them. Evening, everybody. Last minute setup as usual. How's everybody's day been? By the way, if I mute the microphone for a little bit, it's usually because we're talking tactics, and for those of you that don't know, Kirch is in this race, so I'll probably be muted more than usual. I'm joking, Kirch, if you're watching, I love you. Oh, team briefing in a few minutes. Gotta get ready for it. Okay, it should be thoroughly set up now. Right. Evening everybody, hopefully we could put on a little show for you tonight. If not me, then we have Matt and Cam, so we got some hitters here, hopefully. Here we go. It's nice to have my handlebar tape back on actually, nice and soft. Nice and soft. Hey Matt, we have got a tactic tonight, team tactic. It's 2 laps remember, so. Apparently I'm doing 7 miles per kill for 12 minutes. Yeah, roger that, com. What's the tactic for me? What's the tactic for me? Ah. So, for those of you that haven't been following along, this now is round 3, but it's actually round 1. Because we've been kind of like promoted and everything's been reshuffled, so. Any big hitters here? Well, our team, Ian and Kirch. There's quite a few good riders actually. There's actually about 5 or 6 riders who are ranked higher than me, so it will be a fast start, 100%. Because it's a new, they've put the best of the first 2 rounds in one group now, so they've like reshuffled the leagues. I'm actually really nervous for tonight, by the way. Hi Luke, you too, you too. Yeah, it's on Zwift Community Live, yeah. Hey, Enzy here. Actually jumping in. I have split screen. Cheers, guys. Yeah, the mods are all gone now. Hopefully this will be a fun race for you to watch tonight. A bit more fun than the team time trial. Oh, Jonathan. Jason. Sorry. You sent me a message, haven't you? Make a note of it now, Jason. One sec. There you go. Done, buddy, done. Two minutes ago. Oh, heart rate is up. Bum bum bum. Let's do it. Jesper's on our team. Cheers, Tim. The nerves are high. What does Phil Lovett say? Yeah. Roger that. Yeah, we're on Discord. Got a little team chat going. Here we go. 7 watts per kilo for the first 7 minutes. There might not there won't be a lot of talking in this first half. This is rapid. There's Coach. Yeah, go backwards, yeah. No panic yet. I've been told to move up. Just wait till it bunches up, like right here. Then move up. On the hoe, you're supposed to ride at the front, doing 5 watts per kilo. Yeah. Yeah, Phil would know exactly when to use the power up. Thanks, Stephen. I'm 100 seconds in. Yeah, to be fair, Cam did have an all-nighter on the weekend. Put a little burst here just to get near the front. It is very strong up behind. Hey Jonathan, how you doing? You can tell the pace has eased off there. Ah, cams off the back. This is really quick actually, isn't it? Brought heart rate down a little bit. Just put 104. What does that mean? Yeah, it's bound to ease. It's bound to ease up. Yeah, but Jasper did a good sprint there back there, didn't he? I think. There's Kirch. Well, we've got the hardest bit out of the way. For me. Yeah, Gareth. 10k in 12 minutes. Oh, 11k actually. Yeah, because I got out the back. Gus has done 3.9 average. I'm at 4.8. How am I doing so much then? I just keep going backwards. Also, it's all relative, isn't it? It's relative to your FTP. Here we go. Pray for Ed. Did I get points there? Oh. What's the point of having points on every climb, half a marathon? Ah, for God's sake. There was no points there, apparently. That's stupid. No points on that climb. Points everywhere else. That's the longest climb. Pathetic. Okay, Tim. How are you? I'm the only one in the front group now, guys. Which shows how hard it is, because I was struggling by there. Someone's got up the road. That first lap was 19 minutes 32 seconds. Do you reckon we could do 7 watts per kilo for 7 minutes again? Probably not. That was hard without even trying to go. It's so hard on a flat course, like. It's actually harder than the climbs, relatively speaking. Same in real life as well. Ha! It's just ridiculous, like I'm doing 3 watts per kilometre with 50k an hour. The irony is now, of course, that it's like really easy now. So it always comes back to that, doesn't it? It always comes back to like there's crunch points in a race, and it's weird how if you make it over them, usually the race just gets easier until you get to another crunch point. I'm preparing to go all in now. Heart rate's like, nah, not today, buddy. Not today. We're gonna stay up here for a laugh. Fan is now on full power. Coach Mars off the front. Love that, Tim. Tim, it was great timing where you just slid into my Discord there between my music. Tempo. That downhill certainly made a difference. Kurt just can't help but ride 5 watts per kilo, can he? Even in the bunch, he's doing like 4.5, 5.5. If I had a calf, I'd dot it. This shows how easy it is. More people can do short kicks than this. They can do long efforts. That's why there's so many left in the group. Field's hardly reduced at all. And that's the difference between riders at that level and riders like myself. I was absolutely, there was nothing to give at that last bit. And like Kurt, absolutely mental watts per kilo. But to be fair, I did 5, so my draft was terrible. But Kurt did 5.4, the winner did 5.3. But so much different to the race we did the other night. So much different. I was absolutely spent. Being the only guy there in a group of 40, I was like, I'm gonna have to go for every sprint or KOM and the finish. That was always gonna be tough. Although Kurt can do it. I had to use the power up where I used it because I was going backwards quickly. The difference between that and the other night, like, obviously, that's disappointing. Good luck, Bryn. I'm sorry, that was disappointing. I'm disappointed in that. Don't try and console me in the chat. Don't bother, because it's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody who doesn't like accept anything except for my best, which I gave tonight. But like, I had to go where I went because the sprint just doesn't suit me. So if I leave it late, I'm not looking forward to next week being a team title. It's funny now that we've been put like in a different group. Like we've been put in now like the best of like the first 2 rounds, and like it just shows that we've been like shunted down a little bit. Oh, my legs. I mean, there's not really anything that can beat Kickr, Robin. Like, there's hardly anybody on Zwift that can beat Kickr. I can when I'm fresh, Michael. But the thing is with Kickr, like, I don't know how, but he just seems to have like far more like in the reserve. Like for him to be able to do like 5.5 watts per kilo, and then like still do like 30 watts per kilo sprints. Like that's just like I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom it. It's not strange, but it's rare. Let me tell you that. It's very, very rare. I know it's only a short race, which means, you know, you could potentially... We don't even see guys in the Tour Series, which is obviously like the most competitive crit scene in the world. You can't even see them do it, so... I say it's very rare. What the talent that he's got, obviously. So yeah, I'm not... Yeah, they won't have him in the Premier Division though, because he's got form, apparently. I've not experienced it myself, but apparently Kickr has got form, so I don't think they allow him in the Premier Divisions. I might be wrong. I don't know, but it's what you guys have told me in previous chats, so I'm only echoing back what the chat said. Oh. Kickr just demolished me. That first lap was just mental though. To be fair, it was a good ride from the boys, like to get through to the second. Where did they get to? Well, they got around the first lap, and like, you know, that's hard for a lot of them. That's 20 minutes of, or 19.5 minutes of like well over threshold. So that's a top ride from those guys, and they've just rolled over the finish now. I think Jesper got up there for that first sprint. I can't do what Kickr does, no. The tactics, I'll tell you what the tactics were then. So the tactics were to basically, like, there would be like 3 of us that would go for the first lap points, and then the second lap would be up to like me, Cam, and Matt. So the first lap, the 3 lads, you know, they were there for the first sprint. I think they were there for the second sprint as well. I'm not sure. It was all a bit of a blur that first lap, and then it kind of kicked off on those climbs a little bit and shelled like quite a few people. And then Matt said he hit like a new max heart rate or something. He hasn't ridden a bike in a week, so he's hit a new max heart rate going up Libby Hill, I think it was. And then so coming through the finish line where I went solo. To be honest, I probably should have kept going, like, just for the crack. Well, not for the crack really, but just to like, because I had a decent gap, and because they all hesitated because they thought that I'd messed up, that like obviously there was no points there. But in hindsight, the gap that I had going through the finish banner for 1 lap to go, it might have been worth just like maybe investing for another couple of minutes to see where it went. because it might not have gone anywhere. But if I'd had that gap, which I did, I had about 5 to 7 second gap. If I'd have kept going, just to get a 15-second gap, you never know. That might have stuck to a sprint point, and then a group might have come across to me of 5, and then we might have been able to work a little bit. But then a group never stays away on this course usually, so it's a difficult one. So that last lap, then it's kind of in I'm in a difficult position where obviously go for the sprint because we need points. The points accumulate obviously throughout the race, but if I can't get them, which I can't because I can't really, apart from I got a second on the cobble climb, I can't really compete. I can't really compete on them, so it's like, and to be fair, I was like, when I came through to that, I'd made 2 efforts. I was a little bit like, I was over the limit, frankly, and then I didn't really have it on the final climb like I did the other day. The other day when you watched it, the race was a lot easier, so I was able to kind of save more matches for that final climb and hence be able to make almost like a double effort. But this time I was like, I can't make 2 efforts. It was kind of like 1 effort, and then I died at the finish, which is a bit crap. 3:65 for 17 minutes. Whoa, that's massive. That must be like, is that like 4.5 watts per kilo, I guess, or something? Blimey, 79 kilos. I wonder if I'd do down to 79 kilos. Put yourself as 70, guys. So nobody will know. Oh, we might have hit a record number in the stream tonight, did we? So some of you were shouting out we had like high 300s. Oh, definitely, Mr. Pitt. Definitely. Still, it's good training, no? It's good training. Always remember, everything can be solved. Everything in life can be solved with a positive mental attitude and more money. That's the takeaway from this stream, everyone. 330 plus. David says 390. Was it really 390? No way. No way was it 10 off 400. Surely not. You got it, Lewis. You got it. Did we hit 500? Ah, Lord, yeah, but that was the Alpe Zwift, though, wasn't it? That was Alpe Zwift. Oh, as Phil would say, yeah, it was emotional. I reckon in the type, in the type of form I'm in now, I think if we had a really hilly, well, we do actually. Next week is a team time trial, and the week after, yeah, show me the money. Oh, that's amazing. 368, between 368 and 380. Thank you for joining, everybody. I really appreciate it. I always say that, but. The week after, it's everything bagel. So that could be a good one. 3-minute climbs. I'll enjoy that one. Nice one, appreciate it. Cheers, guys. That's it, that's the Discord done. Actually really helps, to be honest, having that Discord. More viewers than my FTP, yeah, just about. I think it does, Robin, yeah, I think you're correct. The bulk on the rhinos, yeah, the bulk on Regos. Great question, George. I didn't really warm up for this because I did a little ride this morning, so I don't usually do a warm up when I've already ridden. But what I do, like, I don't usually warm up. To be honest, warming up's overrated. Sometimes you have to like outweigh sometimes it's like, do you, like, for me obviously I'm not doing like a massive effort to begin with because it was a flat course to start, so I don't have to make a big effort. So do I need to warm up? Potentially no, because the first 10 minutes is a warm-up. The other guys who are riding pretty much out of their skin, a warm-up will benefit them. So it kind of depends really, what you're working with. Like in 2 weeks time when we do everything bagel, where we roll out the gate and we do 1.8k and we go straight up a 3-minute berg, I will be warming up because it'll be important. There's no hiding place. Warming up's overrated in 30. Yeah. Niels, you're right, Gus, you're right, but it's not frustrating when you put it into perspective. I think we put into a different division tonight, for those of you that haven't been like following the whole thing that closely. So we've been put in a different class, different division, which basically means, it's kind of like, it's a bit like World Cup knockout. So, you're in your group of say 4 teams, and then the top 2 qualify and they go to, another division. So we've kind of been promoted then to another division. It's not the Premier League. And we're kind of like now faced with different opposition, and we're faced with different courses. Obviously different courses every week, but like it's I think what they should have done, it's weird how they make the transition to different divisions like not halfway through, but like you'd think that they'd then redo the other courses that we've raced on now that we've moved up a division. I don't know. I was mental, wasn't it, people in my chat were going, oh, you're all slacking, you're going too slow, and we were doing like 55k an hour just rattling along like. No, I don't do that, Robin. But can't doubt my wattages because I've got power files for the last 8 years. But wattages are the same on the Kickr. Well, they're not the same. They're like 10 watts lower than my 4i left-sided power meter. So, and then the power to max I was using is like 5 watts lower than my 4i left-sided power meter that I had like 4 years ago. It was a rude awakening. Was it good fun, was it, that first 10 minutes? I know. Yeah. Tim said on Discord, you say, oh, Cam, Ed, move up, like, you're sat at the back. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, I'm doing like 5.5 watts per kilo and I'm sliding him back. So look at the power graph. Everyone's still probably waiting for the power graph, aren't they? Oh, 66 TSS. So yeah, I had a good effort there. I went pretty deep for that, for the cobble climb, like, so. And I got up to 181 again there. Wasn't that far off, look. That's a little bit further off there. But it's not that far off there. Always interesting looking at your data, isn't it? Sorry, Scott. Oh. Yeah, it was a little bit silly. And you always think about, like, you always think about how much faster it goes because you have people in the group who are doing like 5.5 watts per kilo and there's no reason to do 5.5 watts per kilo. I know I was doing close to 5, but I wasn't anywhere near the front. But I think there were people near the front who were like doing 5.5, and they were like that's why the pace just kept, just kept like running away from us. And I think I think in the end it was just like. Just like completely like the blob speed was getting a bit ridiculous, and then you had people sprinting off the front end like 70k an hour. Yeah, to be fair, Cam jumped in about a minute, was it? I think it was even less than a minute. Basically, he jumped in to Discord. But to be fair, he was up all weekend when he did 25 hours no sleep. Doing the Red Bull time lapse, so can't blame him. Can't blame him. I think I prefer a little chat to the end better than the race. Yeah, 10-second warm up. Yeah, I mean you can see how hard this first part is because, like I said, like this, it just keeps running away from you. So like, all the way up to the little descent, which is here. It's like a constant like. If I'm at 160 there, like goodness knows, I know. Matt hit like 193 or something around here, so we shouldn't be like disheartened. Like we shouldn't come away from that with any negatives aside from like the people that were racing are like a different level to the last couple of weeks. $202. Yeah, we should definitely not be disheartened. We should definitely take only positives away from it, because the positives from this race. right. Basically that we've got a team that is constantly getting stronger every week, because you look at the first week and the second week. So we had the race and then the team time trial. And the team time trial is a good chance, for a solid block of I guess what you call like undisrupted threshold to a certain extent, because there's only a handful of us. And then this week, it's again another lot of work, a load of work rather, at that high intensity with those surges where they can be made. So yeah, it's a great one, Robin. Yeah, no points on the first lap. Might have cooled it down a bit. Yeah, too right. Well, yeah, maybe not. You still have them on the climb, but the sprints are a little bit silly. I think, and then like to not put one on the finish, I think that's just wasteful. Like, I think why? But I think they deliberately, took a stab at me there. And decided not to, not put any points on that climb. Well, not climb, but the finish banner the first time round. Also, slightly, it's not off topic, but most people know that the weekend that just gone, I obviously lost my British Champs title, and believe it or not, that's still like still makes me really sad, and it still occupies a lot of my headspace, even though there's nothing I can do about it, and it's obviously happened and gone, but it's a different it's a different one to explain. Like, if you ever won something and then lost it, you'll know what I mean. But lost it in a way that is not really you're doing. It just doesn't. It just feels weird. So that's kind of, it's still got me, really. It still occupies space in my head, and it probably will for another few weeks until I finally stop seeing things on social media and yeah, I didn't lose it. Yeah. Cheers, Robin. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So on a very human level, because I know some of you probably it's weird because even though I've never met you, you probably know me better than a couple of people do at home. Yeah, it like it's a very strange feeling, and like the Zwift racing kind of scratches that itch to a certain extent, and it's the highlight, or it's the thing that's actually keeping me motivated at the minute. And I appreciate everybody who's in the chat, because you're playing a small part in keeping me motivated. Social facilitation, I think it's called. But yeah, I learned that term today, by the way. But I think the Zwift Worlds, by the way, they're not happening. So I had an email back from British Cycling saying that I can't qualify because I'm not on a doping program. So yeah, I reckon he would have, David. I reckon he would have. And I sent him a message, and I sent him a message on Strava saying I was kind of rooting for him because I've got nothing against Andrew Feather. Like, we have a good relationship, and it's a competitive relationship. Don't get me wrong, as you'd expect, but we have a good relationship as far as that goes. But I didn't want him to win it. And that's me being brutally honest. I wanted Tom to win it. I wanted anybody to win it other than Andrew, basically. But but yeah, I definitely wanted Tom to win. And he is interesting if you look at his power data, where he was able to actually hold a very high power the whole time and not drop and not spike or anything. But yeah, I was disappointed for him, basically. So yeah, the Zwift Worlds, like, yeah, I'm not part of like an elite team or anything. Which, by the way, on that kind of topic, obviously I'm Welsh. Some of you may or may not know that, but a goal of mine is always has been to do the Commonwealth Games, and if I can somehow ride for Wales on the road, when that ever happens again, but we're talking maybe a few years down the line, but yeah, the Commonwealth Games on the road would definitely be I want to represent Wales. The last time I represented Wales, I was a junior, and so yeah, I want to represent Wales properly on the road before I get too old. And sure. No, I don't know when the Commonwealth Games are. Nothing's happening yet, is it? So we have no idea. But I need to I'd probably need to really get nifty with Welsh cycling in order to get on the Welsh team without actually being on a team. Whether or not they'd allow a rider like myself to ride without being on a team is a risky maneuver, I think, unless of course they base what I do on Zwift and in real life part of the selection criteria. But the selection criteria for the Worlds is shocking for British cycling, and it is for other countries as well. So I've heard the fact you have to be on a doping program. Said that bit wrong, haven't I? No doping program. You have to be part of like a UCI kind of either registered team or national team which has access to, well, in Britain at least, or the UK, UK anti-doping, and we need to be thoroughly tested by them, which is like, it was the bane of my existence when I was racing for teams. Like, Florian, the last 2 or 3 winters, that's all I've done is like Zwift racing and a couple of long, steady rides. I've not done a traditional winter, where you do long, steady rides in the cold and the rain, for about 2 or 3 years now. I don't see why you'd flog yourself in the ice and the cold in the UK anymore. Yeah, that's proof, Robin. I've still got a couple of documents here, actually. Got a couple of documents for Lewis Bradley Films is live. He's streaming next. If you want to go and check out his stream. I remember once, tell you a quick story. I raced in Ireland, and we were given. So I was on anti-doping after one of the finishes, and I went to the anti-doping centre, which is basically just like a community village hall. Went in, did my test, which was urine. It wasn't blood. And then I basically left the place. And John Herity, my team manager at the time, he was like, okay, so just so you know, you won't be contacted, or rather they shouldn't contact you. The only time UK anti-doping will contact you is if you've failed a drug test or if there's an anomaly in your urine, but they shouldn't. If you don't hear anything, then it's good. There's nothing wrong. So funny enough, I was staying at John's a lot of the time during my period at GLT, because most of the races are in the UK and most of them are up north, So I would spend a lot of time, maybe a couple of weeks at a time, basing myself at John's and do training rides there. And he'd, feed me lasagna and all the best food in the world. So I had a letter through the post, and it was from like the Irish anti-doping authorities, and they're basically saying like, oh yeah, nothing's wrong, your urine was fine, and John went absolutely ballistic. It's like not supposed to contact you. So he sent a stern email to them. Anyway, that's your bedtime story. Nice one, guys. Appreciate your help tonight. Not just on the bike, but in the chat. You'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes. Oh, 7:30. Time flies when you're having fun. Right, guys, girls. Lewis Bradley Films right there. You can click on him and go to his channel, and you can watch his live stream of the next race if you want to. He's probably going to have a better race than me. No worries, Lewis. No worries. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's a pleasure to show you a pain face. We will see you on the weekend for another live stream probably, and then back on Tuesday for the normal WTRL. So we'll see you then. Take care, stay safe, and go and smash some comps. These post-race chats are better. Is it the chats that are better? See, if I tell you to go and buy something now, like this is the time. See, like my audience retention rate is amazing. So while you're here, go and buy a light lock. There we go. I've said it. Nice one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.